Welcome back to the Gregorian Chant Academy. I have been gone for quite a while. The last video I posted, I think, was back in March, and it is now November. So in this video, I want to explain to you why I have been missing for so long, what's been going on behind the scenes, and what you can expect from the Academy moving forward. I have 8 announcements to bring to you today, and I'm going to save the most exciting for last, so be sure to stick around to the end. But of course, why have I been gone? So first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you for your continued support during my absence here. I haven't been gone because I lost interest or because the Academy is fading away, but actually quite the opposite. I've been gone because there's been so much work going on behind the scenes. I have not had time for YouTube. But now that that work is largely done, I am now back returning to YouTube again. And while I've been gone all these months, the channel has continued to grow by approximately 500 subscribers every month and around 80,000 views each month. So thank you very much. 8 different announcements to make here. So announcement number 1. If you have not seen or heard the news yet, as of July of this year, 2025, I and the Gregorian Chant Academy are no longer part of Floriani. It was really kind of a mutual agreement, a mutual decision, and we had an amicable separation. And so we ended up coming to the decision that it would be better for us to separate and work as individual entities once again. And so that's what we have done. I'm very grateful for the time I had at Floriani and all the work we accomplished during that time. And of course, I wish them the very best moving forward in our new directions. But that also brings me to announcement number 2. During my time with Floriani, I had completed the first version of my online master course, which we considered a beta version. And after it was completed, Floriani asked me to entirely remake the online master course, and for good reason, because the first version was very, very much a beta version. That was a huge undertaking, and the beta version was a huge undertaking. And then to do it all over again with entirely restructured, rescripted, refilmed, re-edited, all of that, and having to do that all entirely myself is a huge task and huge undertaking, because that's not the only work I do either. So it's a huge undertaking. It took a long time, but I'm happy to say that the new version of the master course is entirely completed as of May of this year. And then in September of this year, 2025, we had, after the separation from Floriani, I had the open enrollment, because we have annual open enrollment for the master course. And it was a huge success. And we now have approximately 300 students from all around the world in the Academy. And that kind of brings me to announcement 2.5, you could say. Because of the separation, the Academy and the course is no longer hosted on Floriani's platform. I've had to migrate off of that and find a new platform, which I am now using, one called Course Creator 360, which after analyzing and researching a whole variety of different website and course hosts, I find this one to be the best, even better than Kajabi, if you're familiar with them. So it's really, really nice to be on this platform, and there's a lot of things we can do with it. But that also brings me to announcement number 3. In addition to the master course, I have now created a standalone mini course for beginners on square notation and chant history. And this really is kind of the perfect introduction to chant for beginners, because it assumes you have zero knowledge and education experience, not just in chant, but in music, period. And so it really takes you from the ground up, introducing you to really everything you need to know about square notation and chant history in order to be able to sing for the liturgy. And this mini course does not have periodic enrollment. It is evergreen, which means if you want, you can go sign up for it today. Link in the description. But even if you're not ready for the mini course, I still have something perhaps even more beginner friendly than that, and it's entirely free. I have created a beginner's guide to Gregorian chant PDF, which you can also download by clicking on the link in the description. Free PDF, beginner's guide to Gregorian chant. Let's see. This is announcement number 1, 2, 3, 4. Announcement number 4 is a new community. Up until now, I have had a private community exclusively for my students. But now that I have this community hosted on the new platform, I'm opening it up to the public. It's still a private community. You still have to register for it, but it's no longer limited to students only. Anyone can sign up for this. And so if you've ever, felt alone in the world, you don't have people who you can share your love and knowledge with chant with, and you want to communicate and be a part of a community of other people who are just as passionate about chant as you are, that's where you can come join this community. It's called the Cantor's Cloister. And in this community, some of the features are monthly Q&A, chant practices, challenges. Right now, I have our members doing the November challenge, which is I've posted my own recording of the Introit Requiem Aeternam, along with the notation, the sheet music, and having members record themselves singing this chant, posting it in the community, and then I can provide feedback on that for them. And of course, anyone can comment on that as well. There'll also be interviews with other guest musicians, and members can tune into those interviews live, watch live, and ask their own questions and comments. You can also create your own private community rooms where, if you want to meet up with certain other members of the community to practice chant on your own time, or maybe you want to meet regularly to pray, chant certain hours of the divine office, you can do that as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do in this community called the Cantor's Cloister. Link in the description. Announcement number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In addition to the master course and the mini course and the community course, I am now offering one-on-one singing lessons or private coaching in chant. As of January of 2025, I enrolled in a 2-year-long program, fully accredited program, to become an internationally certified singing teacher. Right now, I'm finishing up my first year. And this is through the company Vocal Process Limited, based out of England. And my primary instructors are Dr. Julianne Kays, her husband Jeremy Fisher, and their assistant Anne Leatherland. And this program is really quite fascinating because it gives a wonderful balance of all of the latest science in vocal anatomy, physiology, the way the voice works, voice and body interconnection, and how to translate that into vocal pedagogy in the actual training sessions. And so there's this wonderful balance between the two. And it's been so eye-opening and enlightening for me, and then also for the clients I've had thus far as well. So if you're interested in having one-on-one singing lessons or coaching, personal coaching in chant, yes, we can do singing lessons remotely, virtually online. You can learn more and sign up in the link in the description. Announcement number 6. I have just signed a contract with a Catholic music management and distribution company based out of Italy. And what they will be doing is helping, the YouTube channel, improving the SEO, titles, thumbnails, things like that, as well as placing certain GCA videos into the playlists of other channels which they manage. They manage a couple other sacred music channels. They can place my videos into those playlists to help expand the reach, so that the my GCA videos can reach a wider audience. And then their distribution arm will be able to distribute my music across all the different streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, etc. So that brings me now to announcement number 7, approaching the end here. The most exciting one's going to be the final one. But announcement number 7 is something which a lot of you have been asking for a very long time, which I have intended to do for a very long time. A couple years ago, I created the Gregorian Rosary, my version of the Gregorian Rosary, which was presenting the joyful mysteries. And ever since I first published that, I told you that I was going to make the sorrowful and glorious mysteries as well. And that's been one of the most requested things from all of you, is for me to do that. And that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to completely remake the joyful mysteries and then also add sorrowful and glorious mysteries. So now that the whole master course and everything is done, that's what I'm going to work on now. And in order to try to expedite that process, I'm not going to sing every single Hail Mary, every single Ave Maria. What I'll do is I'll record one Ave Maria in each of the 8 modes, and then one for each decade, whichever psalm tone it's using. I'll just copy and paste that Ave Maria 10 times to help speed up the process. And that way it's not going to take so long to produce it. So keep an eye out for that. That should be coming up. I haven't started the recording yet because there's so much else I've been having to do, but I hope to start recording that here very shortly. Finally, the biggest announcement. This is something else I've been hoping to do for a very long time. In fact, from the very beginning of when I very first started this academy, which I started back in January of 2021, that very same year, I had the idea of producing an entire album of chants according to a specific theme. I'm not going to spoil it right now, tell you exactly what that theme is, but there were certain videos I published that first year that could give you a hint as to the contents of this album. But I am now going to venture into producing this album professionally. So in January, I will release an announcement video giving all the details of this album, not with just myself, but also with a group of other singers who are friends of mine and very good singers, very well versed in chant. And so it will be a true Schola recording album in a local studio here. So yeah, this is very exciting for me. It's something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And now I'm finally going to be doing it. Of course, with your help and God's help. All right, so now to kind of wrap this video up, in reflection, over the past few years, this has been an incredible journey and learning process for me. And it's taught me how much work actually goes into running a business like this as a solopreneur. And also that I just can't do everything myself, at least not effectively, not efficiently. It takes me a long time because I have to do so many different tasks. Again, any company, all the different tasks I'd be doing would be parceled out to 10 or more different people. And I have to do all of that myself. Even when I was with Floriani, I had to do 99.9% of all the work myself. But the mission of this academy is definitely worth it. It's very worth it. So what is the mission of this academy? And I would say I would sum up the mission in 3 points. 1, the mission of the GCA is to help bring souls to Christ or closer to Christ through the sacred beauty of chant. Also to help restore chant as the primary form of music in the Roman liturgies. And thirdly, to help cantors and directors understand chant as a kind of sacred musical language, not just the mechanics, the theory and the mechanics of how to sing, but to understand it spiritually and musically as a kind of sacred musical language. So that's kind of the core mission of the Academy. But as I said, I can't continue doing everything myself alone forever. Eventually, it's just going to be too inefficient, and I'm going to get burned out. So I do need help, but at the current moment, the revenue of the GCA is not sufficient to hire assistants. And so that brings me to the point of asking. If there are any of you watching who happen to have any particular skill sets, either in communication or video editing, graphic design, things like that, AI software, and you would like to volunteer your skill sets part-time here and there to help the mission of the Academy, it would be greatly appreciated. One thing I would like to do moving forward with these videos on YouTube is to up the quality with the addition of some helpful visual graphics. If I'm doing an educational video, to have some visual graphics on the screen to help the viewer understand the content better, make it more engaging and fun and enjoyable to watch and to learn. But of course, doing it the traditional route, as someone using Adobe Photoshop and After Effects would be very time consuming and very expensive. The way certain AI softwares are now, it's much easier to do that work, much faster, much cheaper. And for the moment, I may just end up having to spend the time learning how to use some of that AI software so that I can do it myself if I don't get any other help. Of course, that again takes up time. That becomes another task that I have to do, is learn how to use yet some more software and tools. That's already part of what makes my job time consuming. Is I'm not a professional in any of these different areas. I have to spend time researching, learning how to use this program or that program, how to do this or that better. And in order to, make these videos better, I may have to spend more time learning how to use certain other softwares. But preferably, if there are any of you watching who can volunteer any skills you may have, that would be very much appreciated. And hopefully then the Academy will reach a point where the revenue is enough that I could pay you or any other professionals. And speaking of new videos, I do have a few videos already planned out. It's just going to be the process of actually making those videos. So again, because I have to do everything myself, don't expect to be seeing videos every week or every 2 weeks. I might be posting once a month because it's going to take time to produce those in addition to everything else I have to do. But there are a few I already have planned out that I will be recording and working on very shortly, in addition to also producing the new Gregorian Rosary. So with that, I extend to you my great thanks and appreciation. I ask you to pray for me as I pray for you. Pray for the Academy and its continued success and bringing souls to Christ and restoring the music and our liturgies. So God bless you all, and I will see you soon in the next video. God bless.